Here we are.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Isaac Potter, and the show is called Mark Isaac Potter Presents. We're visiting today with Richard Liersch, who is a rather famous person. He's he does something called My Living Legacy, which tells the stories of other people's lives. He's been doing it for 40 years. He's also a writer. He writes short stories and all kinds of stuff. He lives on a lovely rural area in one of the United States. You say Wisconsin, did you say? Or
Yeah,
Minnesota?
Wisconsin,
Wisconsin. Okay.
near Port Washington, north of Milwaukee.
North of Milwaukee. Okay. All right. So we're going to just have a rather casual conversation. I'm going to set up my phone, finally remember to do that. Richard, what do you have something in this particular segment that you want to talk about in particular or not?
Yeah, I could talk a little bit about the film that I'm developing.
Oh, good. Let's do that. That sounds nice. Yeah, please do that.
Okay, I guess the best way to do it is to tell you a little bit about how I developed it. Um,
Okay.
and Here is the way I used the beginning. I will say this: over 53 years ago, being a
Okay.
single guy, I was searching for the right person in my life.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna
And
be a love story. How cool is
it's a
that?
love story. Here
All
it comes.
right. Hollywood loves a love story.
I love it. And so what happened is I'm at this convention, a religious convention in Milwaukee, and all of a sudden there's 1,000 people all over in this whole place. And I
Wow.
walk in the door and I
Okay.
see this blonde girl in the middle of a big crowd.
Okay.
And I looked at her and I said, I am going to marry that girl.
Oh my God.
Never saw her before in my life.
Right.
And,
Okay.
and somehow through different connections and different ways I worked it, because I'm
Yeah.
not a bashful guy,
Yeah.
and found out who she was, did a, did a blind date with her, and told her I had a horse, and that helped a lot. And
Okay.
finally, we dated. And after about a year, we were married. We've been married
Okay.
53 years since.
Oh, how cool is that? My God.
So the title of my story is My Angel in the Crowd.
Oh, my angel in the crowd. Okay.
And that's
All
that's
right.
how I picked her out.
All right. And is the story only is your marriage an inspiration for the story, or is it a more solid retelling of your relationship, or what?
Not exactly. From that point onward, I go into something quite unusual. I
Okay.
used to
Something
be,
that deviates from your own personal life.
yeah, a little bit. So I was a race driver for years.
Really?
It was a dirt track race driver. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I incorporated that. And so here's how the story unfolds. And I will try and make it as brief as I can because I could go
Well,
for an hour on this thing.
yeah. Okay. All right.
It's all about a young man who lives in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And,
Okay.
and he lives on a farm with his family. It's very successful. And right next to the farm is a racetrack,
Okay.
Road America. And that in real life is only maybe about 30 minutes from my home. That
Oh,
racetrack, that racetrack supports Indianapolis race cars here. They're up to
okay.
200 miles an hour. So it's rolls through the hills and dales around here, and it they consider one of the finest road courses in the world.
Hmm.
So and so it was just on national television with the Indy cars. So
Okay.
anyway, he decides that he is now going to get an education and leave the farm.
Hmm.
And the parents are all upset about that, but he's a nice guy. Nathan is his name.
Right.
And so he goes to the university here in Wisconsin, and he ends up downtown Chicago with a great job in a accounting firm. But the one thing he never found was the love of his life.
Oh,
And here he
oh,
is searching the streets, joining clubs, doing everything he could to find his love. Never found her. And he relates in the story how how high school is, and when you're dating, and this never works out that way. You're always
yeah. No, I've been there.
hey, we've all kind of been there. And
Yeah.
so it goes on now how he found her. He is walking down the street, and there's some person in front of him in a wheelchair, and the person in the wheelchair gets pushed into the street and hit by a car.
Really?
And, yeah.
Huh.
And, and so he runs over to see who it was, because all he saw was the back of the person. And they turn the person over, and here it is, the face of the girl he's always dreamed of.
I'll be
That's,
darned.
yeah, that's his angel in the crowd. He found her in this
Okay.
huge downtown street. If you've ever been in downtown Chicago, the main street down there,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. And
Yeah.
there she is. She's been robbed. She has no identification. And so here he is. What is he going to do? Let her go, or is he going to claim her? And that's
Huh.
what he does. She has traumatic brain injury. So he tells the police that she is his half sister.
Oh
He
my goodness.
lies.
Okay.
So he cops in the ambulance, takes her to the hospital, and finds out that she has massive brain injury, and now she's in intensive care. They have to operate. She's close to death. So the
Oh
doctor
wow.
asks, "Who's going to pay for this?" "I'll pay for it."
All
He's been,
right.
he's saved up all his life, to have funds. So now he's taking care of this woman, young girl in her 20s.
Right.
And so he keeps on keeping her in a nursing home, and finally finds out that she's British,
Huh. Okay.
but nobody knows who she is. She has no memory of the past, zero, and that remains with her the rest of her life. So he decides that what is he going to do is take her back home. Runs out of money, you can't keep her in a nursing home.
Yeah. No, it's expensive. Yeah.
So he took her to his apartment, and then finally called his parents and said, "I'm bringing somebody home. She's got a little bit of a problem here. She has no memory of the past."
Yeah.
So he takes Esther Rose back to the farm in Wisconsin. And this is where the story actually begins. The movie actually begins somewhere
Oh,
in that area.
oh, really? Okay. So the rest of it's kind of is going to be a backflash or flashback or something.
She'll have no flashbacks in her life, but he's narrating the story.
Okay. Okay. Kind of like our
Yeah.
town hall or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the beginning of the story shows a wheelchair spinning around and her being unidentified. So now
Okay.
the story, to make it as quick as possible, and it's very involved. She has blackouts. She wanders off, and the community is now, and his parents have accepted her, and now they're taking care of her. And it turns out to be one of the greatest stories of her life and of others. It's a love story. And what happens here is he video records her from the day he found her
Oh,
all the way to the end of the story.
had he ever met her before? He met her as her laying in the street,
No, she's just a total stranger with no name.
but he had like a vision in his mind of what his perfect lady would look like.
Yeah, I mean, I did that.
Okay. No, I'm asking. I'm asking.
Yeah, I wanted a blonde, short,
Yeah.
cute. Got
Yeah.
it. And so this is what he found. He found the exact girl he's always looked for. So there she is back home. The community is now raising her. They take turns. She can't drive. They take her and send her to they send her to Mayo, and they're going into hockey. He's video recording all this first of all on
Right.
his phone, and then later on he records, buys a camera, and all the time he is using an outline that I developed, mylivinglegacy.net. I'm his
Okay.
friend. I'm I'm actually in the story, just very small.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's all in a rural community. So what's happening now is that she decides that all the way through the story, she's got to find out who she is. I mean, speaking with a British accent and not knowing who you are, she doesn't know if she's married, she has children, she has siblings, or whatever. So she's on this mad search trying to find out where she belongs. Meanwhile, she's in town, in this town uh, at the lake, and people are very possessive of her. They don't
Okay.
care if she ever finds her home back in London. So she, in turn, has a way to get around. He provides her with a 1910 John Deere tractor that goes pucka pucka puck, those big smoky things, and
Huh.
that's what she drives.
Oh, a 1910. So
Yes, and
what are the years the story's set in?
it's an old steam tractor with steel wheels. It's huge, and
No, I'm asking you what year, approximately what year is the story taking place?
now,
Now,
right
meaning
now,
2024?
yes, exactly. It's taking place right now.
Okay, so they got an antique tractor for sure then.
That she can drive around. Yeah, it's very
Okay.
quaint. So as she's driving into town, she works in town. She helps people out and all the stuff. She volunteers for everything. And finally, she marries Nathan. Esther Rose marries him,
Oh
but
wait,
she's still on.
I'm lost. I'm lost. I thought she was crippled.
No, she finally, I didn't finish that whole part of it, but she actually, the town helps her back to walking and helps her completely with all the operations and everything. So she's now walking. In the
Okay.
story, she's actually
Okay.
uh, gained her, but the only problem is she can't drive an automobile, because of
Yeah.
her, her problems. So the so now you have to imagine that she's in a town, a race car town here, and when people
Yeah.
come into
True.
town, there's probably 5 to 10,000 people that show up in this town.
Oh geez.
Yeah, if you know anything about it, I was just there this weekend. We had 3,000 people into the town just watching a car show, and the people
That's
come from
this
all over
week
the
in
world.
real life in your town?
At Elkhart Lake. Yes,
Okay.
yeah, the town only has 900 people in it, but there's thousands of people come from all over the world, and they bring their cars in to the show. I mean, from everywhere. It's just an amazing event. And
Okay.
so they drive from the racetrack to the town, and
All right.
it's how can I say this? So she is trying to find her event, and see, when she was a child, there is a flashback, but she doesn't know it. When she was a child, her best friend, her father was a professional race car driver.
And
F
she doesn't
Town
know this,
Real.
huh?
Nope, she doesn't know it, but she and her best friend, back when she was a child, tattooed joy in her hand. The words
Huh.
joy on her thumb.
Okay. All right.
They both did it.
Huh.
And so she never knew in her lifetime what that joy meant. Now, of course,
Yeah.
there's no past. So you have to visualize all these things happening. And now she and her husband go to the racetrack. He is still racing part-time. So the
Okay.
the the story kind of goes from the farm to the racetrack. And
Oh,
he
good.
and
Okay.
and if you go to this racetrack today, which there's another big race coming up this weekend, you can walk right up to the cars, right up to the drivers, and right up to the edge of this 200-mile-an-hour track and visit with
Okay.
everybody. So he is a
Wow.
friend of all these drivers. So now, jumping a little bit further ahead, there's a dog that a neighbor has, and this dog follows her all the way through the story, Charlie. They
Okay.
have two children. Well, you know, if you've ever seen people with these, you know, these helper dogs,
Yeah,
you know,
service dogs. Yeah, yeah.
service. Yeah, well, this is not a service dog. This is just a dog that just attaches himself to her.
Okay.
And one night, one evening, she wanders off, and the community is looking for her. They can't find her. She was in the woods for 2 days,
Oh,
lost.
geez.
Yeah, they sent out bloodhounds, they sent out horses, couldn't find her. The dog breaks free from this neighborhood where he lives next door, and he
Okay.
found her.
Huh.
So you can imagine this dog, and two times in the story, this dog Charlie saves people's lives.
Oh,
And
wow.
this is a critical part in the story,
Okay.
very critical. And so uh, the town now, still, whenever people come into town, she works at a particular store, different stores, and she wants to hide. They want to hide her, but
Why?
people,
Why?
because they don't want her to go back to
Oh, I
the.
see. Okay.
So this is the crux of the story. They're trying to keep her on under wraps, and her husband is of the same mind. He's very
Hmm.
possessive of her, and
Okay.
the town is loving and giving and does everything for her, and she does everything for the community. And
Huh.
if you go through the movie, you'd see all these different areas where they just do everything. So at the end of the story, you find that she is now sending off for a DNA,
Huh.
and the DNA comes back, and her husband finds out from the post office when it came in. And so now he knows, and the town begins to find out that she is an heiress of $1 million corporation in London.
Oh, geez.
So now, and she also has a sister, no family, just one sister.
Huh.
You have any questions so far as we're going along here?
I have asked a few so far. I'll keep asking if I have them. Yeah. It's interesting.
Okay,
I like the way it unfolds.
and so what happens now, the sister puts out a $300,000 reward for her, but
Huh.
never really goes to the expense of trying to put her picture in or anything else. She's kind of going through the motions, and we're wondering why she's just going through this motion.
Okay. That's curious. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
there's a big hook here.
Well, it's kind of
So
nice. It gets the customer, the viewer more involved.
yeah, so now uh, there is okay, I'll jump ahead here a little bit. There is a race at Elkhart Lake, and usually every year they bring in a professional race driver from overseas, from London.
Okay. All right.
So what's happening now is there are two pig farmers in the town.
Okay.
Here's Here are the antagonistic. Here are these people that want your exposure. Now they come to all the town meetings, these two pig farmers from up north in the town, and
Yeah.
they always know when they're in because the whole town hall smells after them. You know,
Well,
when they
okay.
come
That certainly makes sense.
and so they come in and they find out that there's a huge reward for her, so they want to turn her in.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and the town people are not going to allow this happen to
Not
happen.
happy. Not happy campers at this point.
They're very unhappy campers. So they're going to try and they're going to discourage these two guys. And
Okay.
so what they decide they're going to take a little a way to get out to the farm and discourage them. The
Yeah.
first night, the first
Quote
night they get,
unquote discourage them.
pardon me.
I said quote unquote discourage them as to beat them up or something, I guess.
Well, they're going to do it a little differently. What they're
Okay.
going to do the first time, they live on a hill, which we have lots of hills around here, and
Yeah.
they disconnect their wagons. And as they take off in the morning, all the pig food, everything flies down the hill, tumbles down. They couldn't figure out why why these wagons would disconnect? We disconnect them every night.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
so that's the scene you have to visualize. Food flying all over the place, pigs running everywhere. Next night, they come back into town. They're not going to do it. They're still going to turn her in. The
Ah,
next night, they take one of the drivers who has a truck, and he goes in there during the night and backs his truck into a power line and cut the power off to the farm.
oh
Now
my
the farmers
God.
have no water, no lighting,
Oh
and
boy.
everything else. I mean, they're really into it. They have to call a water truck in to bring water in. One of them is one of the drivers is brothers is a bus driver. I mean, you have to understand these guys are ragtag people, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
the sharpest pencil. I would say, put it this way, they're not the sharpest pencil in the box,
Yeah.
you know.
I can hear that.
So they tried that. Farmers are still not going to do it. They're not, they want to turn her in. Well, the third one, if you're familiar with Wisconsin farms around here, we have these huge gas tanks, big red gas tanks, and that fill up the tractors all year long. And
Oh,
these things are like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of gallons of fuel oil, gasoline in them. So
okay.
the town now is going to go out there and send a little message to the guys. They're going to put a firecracker underneath these three fuel tanks.
Oh Lord.
So, so you got about 300 people going out there, extras, and they're all going out there. And the mayor goes out there with a firecracker and puts it underneath a dripping tank. And this is way out, it's off the edge of the property.
Right. Right.
And they light it.
Oh boy.
And they're all standing there. They're
Mm.
all standing there waiting for this thing to go off.
Well, of
And it
course.
didn't.
Well, I hope they're not close by, but yeah.
So they're all far enough away. So somebody's got to go back out there and relight the firecracker.
Oh boy.
So they elect the mayor again to go back out there and do it. So this time he does it, and they're all standing there, maybe an eighth of a mile away with their hands over their head. And all of a sudden, you see all three of those huge gas tanks blow up into the air, flame like you'd see like these gas trucks on fire.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
it looks like Vietnam.
Wow.
So anyway, at the end of now, they got the message. But here's the story. He decides that Nathan is going to take Esther Rose to the racetrack. And when they're at the racetrack, or this famous racetrack we have here, there is a pavilion that goes over the track. When the race cars come through at the finish line up a hill, they're doing about 200 miles an hour. There is a pavilion over it, and the famous drivers, during break, they sign names, autographs for people. So he's going up there. The two of them are. He's taken her to meet this famous race driver.
Okay.
And as she takes him up, he says, Nancy. She says, no. She says, I'm not Nancy. He says, stop the big lines. There were big long lines trying to meet this famous British race driver. And he says, Nancy. She says, no, I'm a farm lady up the road here. She says, I'm Esther Rose. She says, no, you're Nancy Martin.
Oh God.
And she says, no. I just live up the road here. He says, let me see your left hand. You have whatchamacallit, joy written on your left hand. She says, yes, I do. She shows it to him. So you are my daughter's best friend from London.
Okay.
So now she's been identified. So now what's happening towards the end of the story, she has to make a decision. Is she going to leave the town and go back to her sister who owns this huge corporation?
Yeah.
And she finds out that her sister now wants her back for one reason. She's merging the company. I'm making it kind of involved, but she's
Yeah.
merging the company, and all she wants to do is get her signature and get her off the ownership. And
Oh, I
and
see.
she has a detective that follows her around and trying to prove that she's not capable of owning a company because she has this mental problem, because she
Right,
blacks
right,
out.
right.
So she goes back over there and flies over to London and finds out to her best girlfriend, who she doesn't even know what her sister is up to.
Yeah.
And at the end of the story, she takes the kids over, and she now, how can I say this? She went over with her DNA and also with all the
Okay.
SD cards.
Right.
She had told the press, the world press, that she had been kidnapped by this town. Once
Oh,
you
really? Why? Yeah. Wow. That's like a turn of events. Jeez.
she just felt that nobody, they knew who she was, and they wouldn't let her go back to London because they never told her who she was. So she felt like she was kidnapped. Hope you're running out
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah. We're out of time, but can we do? What do you want to do the rest after a while, or what? Do you want to do
Sure.
that in the next show, or?
Yeah, I'll give you the end. And in fact, that'll give the people kind of to hang on. Is she going to go to London or not?
Yeah. Okay. All right, folks. You heard it here. Is she going to go to London or not? This has been Mark Isaac Potter Presents with Richard Liersch, and we are going to end this particular show. Thank you for watching. We deeply appreciate it, your interest in our show, and we'll see you next time. Take care, please. All right. Bye bye.